Well, if you've been following my channel, I think it was on last Friday, I let you all know that YouTube had changed something up in the back end and that my videos were starting out all as yellow and it was taking many, many, many hours for them to get reviewed. Now, the frustrating thing about that is, in my experience, videos that are yellow don't have the same reach. Also, videos that are yellow, seem to get more suppression and disfavor in the search algorithm. So there's a lot of reasons to care about whether or not your videos are yellow or demonetized. It isn't all about money, but that is also part of it. When you have a staff to support, I have a thumbnail guy, a video editor, myself, and my advertising coordinator, Maggie. It is a big deal. And when you deal with news that is breaking, then it's a really, really big deal. Because if you release a video, let's say, on a Friday and it takes 24 hours to review, you just make sure you have it up by Thursday. It's not the end of the world. But when you're trying to cover breaking news and YouTube is effectively, silencing your channel, effectively suppressing your channel, it is a huge deal. And I reached out to YouTube. I did a video about it. I sent several tweets about it, and nothing has been returned. Nothing. I suppose if I had tweeted something about a problem with my YouTube Plus subscription or YouTube Prime subscription or whatever it's called, they might have replied, but they don't care about independent creators. They just don't. And it's because, if you look at, stuff like this, even look at this article from 2 days ago. In the face of regulation threats, YouTube is still making money hand over fist. The company recently earned a monumental $7.2 billion in quarterly ad revenue, underscoring the tension between what lawmakers want tech companies to do and what tech companies feel motivated to do. It's hilarious. It's hilarious to me that anyone would think legacy media actually cares about accuracy in reporting. They all have incredible bias on both sides of the aisle. Vanity Fair, of course, far left leaning. They don't actually care about misinformation. What they care about is control. It's the same reason that all these same outlets pretend to care about Facebook. They don't care about information or misinformation. They care about these things have far surpassed their reach. It's one of the reasons I started using Facebook again, at least for, facebook.com/thequartering, because I think I'm done growing here on YouTube. There was like a week there where I was gaining subscribers again every day, and then now it's back to losing some every day. The audience that I have, I'm so very thankful for. But I think about the people who are just up and coming right now, people that are starting, that want to blaze the same path, that want to follow the same path. There's almost no chance. When you have videos that you have to drop when news breaks, that's your best chance. Because what we have as independent commentators is we're far more nimble. We're far more reactive to news. So when news breaks, YouTubers and people on Twitter are the first people to cover it. There is a tiny window that exists, maybe for hours, sometimes just minutes, where an independent YouTuber's video is actually showing up in search results because Fox News and CNN haven't covered it yet. But the second there's a Fox News video, or there's a CNN video on it, we're buried. So that is the window in which commentators can grow in these days, unless you're talking about other YouTubers, which I've largely gotten away from now because I don't think that's for me anymore. And I think, if you want to talk about news and grow, you have to be online all the time. I can't even take a vacation to go and, something as cool as going to see Gina Carano. I still had to get up at 4:00 every day, record my videos, and then wait until the afternoon until they were finally approved. In some cases, it didn't get approved till the next day. As a deluge of negative Facebook coverage continues, the question of whether it will amount to anything growing more acute. Overwhelmed by the sheer amount of detail in the internal documents provided by the whistleblower, Frances Haugen, Democratic shill, lawmakers seem to have zeroed in on a particularly poignant topic: The effect of social media on children. Shocking. Think of the kids. According to Wall Street Journal story published before the floodgates truly opened, Facebook was aware that Instagram, its popular photo sharing app, by the way, I'm going to have to use Instagram more too now because I have to find ways to grow. I believe there is a link in my link tree to my Instagram if you want to follow that. Notably, YouTube was the only company of the three that did not commit to making internal findings available to the committee. Good. When Blumenthal asked Leslie Miller, YouTube's VP of Government Affairs and Public Policy, if YouTube provided external independent researchers with access to their algorithms and data sets and data privacy practices, Miller offered a conditional response saying it would depend on the details. Though Miller did respond affirmatively when Senator Ed Markey asked if YouTube would support his legislation that would ban ads targeting kids, the problem is clear. Big tech preys on kids to make more money. That's baloney. I mean, sure, maybe they do. But what does BuzzFeed do with their listicles? What does every mainstream cartoon do? What does Netflix do? What does Disney Plus do? Marketing to kids is not anything new. But this is what, as YouTubers, we have to deal with. Dying legacy media like Vanity Fair writing these hit pieces. Of course, the context for questions about the regulation is whether or not tech companies are actually motivated to change the way they operate. YouTube's Q3 earnings report, which was released this week, suggests it may not see a reason to change. According to the Hollywood Reporter, YouTube brought in $7.2 billion in advertising revenue in the third quarter, amounting to an annual increase of 43%. Didn't hit me. My fellow creators, did you see a 43% increase in payouts? I didn't. My payouts went down about 20% year over year. Now, YouTube has responded in a way to me in that they are now seem to be reviewing my videos faster, but it still takes several hours, which means I have to get up extra early to record videos about news that I don't know if it's important or not, or if it'll be relevant, in a few hours. Now, when breaking news comes out, I have to release the video unmonetized. And yes, I know, boo-hoo, content creators. I get it. Nobody cares about that. But if you don't care about the financial effects, please care about the fact that independent content creators care far more about you and their viewers than CNN or Fox ever will. And as these artificial barriers keep getting placed up, or very real barriers keep getting placed up against us, it makes it more and more difficult to compete. I know my channel is never going to grow anymore. The best thing I can do now is break even and kind of hold the viewers that I have to offset the viewers that I'm losing. I understand my channel is at like a mature state right now. But there are a lot of other channels out there that are just starting out, that want a chance to grow, that are better than I am, or that are worse than I am. But there are still other channels that look at, commentating and really want to be in that space, but YouTube's making it so difficult. I feel so bad for them. I'm sure most of you have noticed an increase in ads on my channel, ad reads. That's because YouTube, is essentially making that the only way to sustain. I went from relying on like ad revenue, ad reads of like 10% of my income. Now they're like 50 to 60% of my income. And I'm so thankful that all of you support the sponsors. I try to be choosy with them. Sometimes I'll just take just about any mobile game as long as it's not egregious, because whatever, I trust you to play games responsibly. But I am thankful that all of you understand that that's the new model. A lot of other people take a lot of flack when they do ad reads, and you guys are always really respectful. Some people want to skip ahead or whatever. Fine. I'm not offended by that. Also, if you are in a position, I forgot to mention this the other day, there's a join button here on YouTube, or below each video, there's another button called join. Listen. And that's like a Twitch subscription. It goes directly to the content creator and is extraordinarily helpful. If not me, consider making today the day you join one of your favorite content creators. Or you can, if you don't want to give YouTube money, I have a Subscribe Star at subscribestar.com/thecordering. We're at 50.3% of kind of the self-sustaining goals. So we've got a long way to go, but we've come a long way too. Please consider making today the day, if not me, that if you're in a position to, you back one of your favorite content creators, either by joining them or by backing their Patreons or Subscribe Stars, because this is going to be more important than ever in 2022. I can just see the way the tides are turning, and I've never appreciated my viewers more, and I've also never needed you more. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.